All democracies have a voting system, and there are three factors that separate elections. Number 1. The district magnitude. This relates to the number of elected representatives per district, or in other words, how many people are represented in one area. There are two types of districts, single-member districts and multi-member districts. As the name suggests, SMDs allow one winner, while MMDs may allow more than two winners. Number 2. The voting formula, or the method of selecting candidates. The video will dive into this factor. Number 3. The ballot structure, or how people can express their choices. Some countries may provide 2 ballots per person, and some countries might allow people to rank their choices rather than simply selecting a candidate. Many countries have their preferred method of voting, but every voting system can be organized into 3 different systems: plurality or majoritarian system, proportional system, and mixed system. Different voting methods can be categorized into 3 different systems because each system has a different focus. For example, the majoritarian system puts the spotlight on a candidate, while the mixed system tries to put the spotlight on both the candidate and the party. Let's take a look at our first system, the plurality or majoritarian system. This system emphasizes on the winner-takes-all gimmick and utilizes SMDs. There are 3 types of methods of voting within the plurality system: first past the post, alternative vote, and the 2-round system. In FPTP, the person with the most votes wins the election. In the alternative vote, which is also known as preferential voting, voters rank their candidates from favorite to least favorite, and the votes are counted from the favorites. In order to avoid wasting votes, candidates that are clearly out of the game are transferred to the next candidate, thereby trying to satisfy all voters with their ranked choices. In the 2-round system, there are 2 rounds of votes. After all voters vote in the first round, votes are collected and the top 2 candidates survive. There then is another campaign session, and then voters vote between the top 2 candidates. Plurality voting is straightforward and listens to the simple majority. The electoral threshold, or the number of votes needed to win, is simply the majority. On the other hand, the minority, even if the difference is 0.1%, is completely neglected. Also, if there's only one winner, this system tends to create 2-party systems. While many parties could exist within a plurality system, as parties compete, smaller parties start to merge to create a larger force to win, thus resulting in a 2-party system over time. A 2-party system can easily create a polarized society and waste votes. This takes us to our second system, the proportional representation system. This system emphasizes on candidates and allows multiple winners per district. Therefore, it utilizes MMDs. Now, there are 2 types of PR systems: list systems and single transferable votes. In the proportional representation system, parties run against one another and people vote for parties. The ultimate representation of parties should reflect the percentage received from voters. For example, if there's a district that accepts 5 winners and blue party receives 60%, pink and yellow receive 20% each, the blue party will get 3 representatives and the pink party and the yellow party will get 1 representative each. There are 2 types of list systems: open list and closed list. In a closed list system, each party creates their own list of politicians in a particular order. Once all the votes are in, they choose from the top until the votes run out. If we were to use the same example from a few seconds ago, top 3 candidates from the blue party are selected, and the top 1 from pink and yellow are selected. In an open list system, voters can specify who in the party they would like to vote for. Therefore, the winning candidates in the open list system might look like this. The main difference between the 2 list systems is whether the party chooses their preferred list of candidates or allow voters to specifically choose candidates. In a single transferable vote system, voters rank their preference and then votes might get transferred to other candidates. It's very similar to alternative vote, just that there are multiple winners instead of one. Let's say there are 4 people running in a 2-person district. If 2 individuals can get selected, the top 2 candidates with the most votes win. If the pink party has 2 candidates, but person A gets 65% of the vote, he or she can transfer 15% of the votes to person B, which allows 2 people from the party to win instead of 1 candidate. The PR system aims to eliminate wasted votes and to accurately represent the people's will as much as possible. Representation should be more diverse, but diversity can allow extreme parties to get a seat or 2 as well. The last voting system is a mixed system, which basically merges the plurality and PR aspects together. Mixed systems emphasizes on both the party and the candidate. There are 2 types of mixed systems: mixed member majoritarian and mixed member proportional representation. Both systems allow 2 votes to take place. In the MMM, there are 2 separate votes going on at once, one which is plurality and one which is PR. The number varies by country, but half of the seats of a single chamber or house could be plurality and the other half PR. The results of these 2 votes have no influence on one another, so MMM is also known as parallel voting. In MMP, people vote in a similar manner as MMM, where people vote for local candidates in a party. In the MMP, however, the goal is to match party preference as much as possible. This means that the results of the 2 votes influence one another. The following is a simplified version. There are 6 districts and voters get to vote between 3 parties, the blue, pink, and yellow party. Voters get to vote for their local representatives and party of choice. Once the results are in, based on what we see in these districts, we get the following results. The local candidate votes will be first counted. These candidates are elected with a plurality system. Afterwards, the remaining seats will be allocated to parties with the attempt to match the second vote as much as possible. In this example, we know that half of the population supports blue, a third supports yellow, and 6 support pink. In order to make sure that all seats reflect the second vote as much as possible, half of all the seats should go to blue, a third to yellow, and a 6 to pink. That means that blue gets 2 more seats, yellow gets 3 more seats, and pink gets 1 additional seat. Now, all seats look similar to the proportional vote, which is the second vote. By having the 2 votes influence one another, the MMP tries to accurately reflect the will of the people. On the other hand, mixed systems are usually complicated and hard to understand. In order to accurately reflect the people's will, more politicians might be voted into office, which increases the administrative cost. While most voting systems can be placed into 3 voting systems, let's talk about one system that is kind of its own thing, the Single Non Transferable Vote, or SNTV. SNTV is like a multi-member first-past-the-post where the top few candidates win an election. Let's say a district only allows 3 winners. In an SNTV system, these 3 candidates will be the representatives. While this might look like an improved version of FPTP, it faces the same problems as FPTP. If a single member of a dominant party receives 80% of the vote, that party can only get 1 representative regardless of receiving 80% of the district vote. This doesn't reflect the will of the people at all. This system therefore encourages inter-party rivalry as candidates are fighting one another, not parties per se. Because Japan used to use the SNTV system, this explains the ongoing importance of factions. Which system do you think is the best voting system? While I love political science in general, this channel dives into the specifics of Japanese politics. Again, let me know your thoughts on the best voting system in the comments below. Like the video if you learned something new, and subscribe to learn more about Japanese politics.